pity.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another time um, in News Time Plus. 2027 Nigerian general election is far approaching. We are counting down to it, and APC is doing everything since 2023 politicking. But now, I want you to relax and watch this video. What the war between ADC and APC. What ADC spokesperson said and the response and the kind of uh, aggressive, uncoordinated response from one of the APC chieftain. Now, this APC chieftain is putting his statement out there saying that that the government is doing is doing well, is doing everything good. That today the price of food, agriculture is improving, price of food is dropping. But the question is this: how much was it before this administration came in? How much was the price of food in the market before this administration came in? And also, inflation is coming down, and the president cares about the masses, about the people. Okay, these are his words. These are his conviction that APC under the current administration is doing well. But you out there who is watching should think, should analyze to look at things around you. The things going on around you in the country, does it show that this government is doing something? Okay, so and that the second term of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is done deal, that is coming to power for another 4 years, come 2027. These are the things. So I want you to watch what ADC spokesperson said and the response from APC shifted, and the aggressiveness and everything, the way he. Please just relax and watch this video, and then you be the judge. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Want to get Tinubu out of power. That's the only way we can get to do. No, not desperately. Because it's only by getting him out of power that can take our country back. There's no scenario where he remains in power and we're able to save this country.
Is the country stolen?
It's more or less it has been hijacked. You see some of the behavior of the people in government, and when people say you can smash it and grab it and run with it, that is the language of banditry. A government that can forge a duly passed law. What do you call that? You see, some things have happened in recent time that is unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. This is the first time we hear that the National Assembly will pass a law, then some people in government will sit and forge it and actually try to pass it off as the duly approved law. This is the first time that we're hearing that a government of Nigeria will pay $9 million.
Is it 6 million or 9 million now?
It's 9 million. I read the agreement. I saw the document. If you go to the FARA website, you see it there. $9 million. $9 million for lobbyists to make them look good before Donald Trump.
Is it a bad thing to lobby?
It's not a bad thing to lobby. But what they are doing, number one, I don't even want to go to the issue.
That's Malam Abdullahi on Friday on the program. So all of the challenges and the necessity of tough reforms to stabilize the economy, which, of course, the APC government is saying is what we're saying tonight. In the interest of balance and accountability, we'll bring you a right of reply from the APC as we examine governance, public welfare, and the political implications ahead of 2027. I'm being joined by the Executive Secretary and the MD of NICO and a chieftain of the APC, Tumba Biodun Ajiboye, is live for us here. And also, thanks so much indeed.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me
here.
Yes.
On the interview, which doesn't look like something that went down well with members of your party, and you particularly detested some of the position of Malam Bolaji Abdullahi. Yeah. He inferred and categorically defended and debated the reason why your party, according to him, is highly unpopular. He said that your party has failed Nigerians and incompetent to handle the affairs of the nation. He went and officially established that your party is not fit enough to get a re-election in this country in 2027. How do you react to that?
Well, first of all, I'll let you understand that never before has Nigeria experienced purposeful leadership as we are experiencing right this minute. And for, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi to come up on TV, a man who was minister before, and proclaim and endorsed negatively a performing, government like ours that has failed. How reasonable it is for you to judge a 4-year journey in just 2 years, and you then pass a vote of no confidence on a journey of 4 years. We just did 2 years, and you say we have failed. Who gave him that statistics? Where was that referendum conducted for him to have come on TV and said we have failed? And in what way have we failed? They choose to take the most popular expected, consequence of our wrong actions, consecutive wrong actions as a nation. The consequence of such wrong actions must happen at a time. It is happening now. Any intelligent Nigerian will know that a country that has been using 97% of its revenue to service debts, a country whose major export is oil and has not been able to meet export quota for many years, a country that does not have a production sector working, will come up to a problem at some point. You don't need to have a degree to know that. And I expect Bolaji to understand that simply. Now, the consequence has come. And here is a man who says, okay, I reasoned with this consequence before I campaigned that you should vote for me. I am equal to the task. I will take these issues fundamentally from the beginning, and we will tackle it. That's exactly what President Bola Tinubu is doing. Okay, right today, as we speak today, by 2023 May, whether we liked it or not, there was no possibility of continuing with subsidy. Bola Tinubu did not remove subsidy. He only announced the removal. And some people are saying, why will he announce subsidy removal without preparing for it? How will he have prepared for a subsidy that was impossible to continue with as at the time he came to power? Okay, now what have we done? We've tried to reverse the negative tide of the economy. How? Unemployment rate has dropped drastically from from 33% to about 4-point-something% now. Now, inflation has dropped from...
Unemployment rate?
Yeah.
You need to check your...
No, but
unemployment rate from 33% to 4.1%.
Rate as of 2020 was about 33%. Yeah. It has dropped drastically. Reason being that there are other sectors of the economy that are absorbing people, not the major sector of the economy. Payment of salaries, civil service salary has not failed one day. State governments no longer borrow money to pay salaries as they were doing before. All I'm trying to say is that we are trying to handle the economy in a way that is only possible by anybody who understands the language of finance. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
I'd like to ask you.
Yes, please.
When opposition figures argue that since the removal of fuel subsidy, because debates are easy to have if you speak the language very well and you understand your statistics and your data. But, the removal of subsidy, the exchange rate reforms, the inflation and food prices, all rose sharply, making daily life harder since this government got into office for a lot of Nigerians. For many Nigerians, their lives became a bit more difficult because of the situation of the economy. But from the APC standpoint, when should Nigerians realistically start feeling the relief?
First of all, Nigerians, we must make ourselves to understand the fact that this period is a consequence of missteps of the past. Now, when we understand that, then we will then appreciate what Bola Tinubu is doing, or what the government of President Bola Tinubu is doing to ensure that the tide is being reversed. Okay, let me even take the debt service to revenue. As our 2023 was 97%, like I said. By 2024, it has come under 40%. So once we are able to tackle some of those activities that are holding us down as a nation, it will be easier to now say, okay, let us face massive, deployment of our arsenal to ensure that the economy is properly reflated. Now, for instance, the government has done about 1 trillion naira investment into mining. Our mineral sector is being revived. We have to revive those sectors. And the problem with our mineral sector ab initio has been illegal mining from every angle of Nigeria, from Zamfara to Kogi, illegal mining. So if government does not curb illegal mining, we will not be able to tap great potentials that are available within the mining sector. So until we are able to clean this mess considerably, then of course, even from this year's budget, we are faced with serious insecurity that is equally affecting agriculture. Now the insecurity is getting resolved as we speak, gradually. At least we are facing it headlong. The President Bola Tinubu's government is the first government that has actually done something substantive with respect to insecurity. So, my brother, we need to face the problem. We need to find ways of resolving the problem, step it down dramatically before we can begin to talk about growth.
Yeah. So how easy are you able to convince Nigerians? You are reeling out some figures. You're saying, you're talking about, you're defending the policy decisions of this government. But some of the people you're talking to tonight, they will be asking the microeconomics side of things. They are not feeling it. They are not seeing it. Their lives is becoming more miserable. That misery index and that feeling of inability to cater for oneself amidst of the economic hardship brings some kind of hopelessness. What do you tell those kind of people who are listening to you? Yes, Otumba Ajiboye, you have said all of these figures, but the fundamentals is about the food on the table and the money is in the pocket.
Shem, truthfully, I agree with you. The common man on the street must feel the impact of government's policy positively for them to adjudge government positively. With the fact, you have just said it right. But believe me, unless and of course we are able to tackle the fundamentals that is holding us down, we may not be able to get to that. Nigerians have failed by not educating its citizens why and how we got here.
But I've asked you, when do you realistically think that some of Nigerians should start?
By the end of 2026, with the budget of 2026, there will be some hope. Food prices have started coming down. That much I know. Food prices have started coming down. Agriculture has been given a huge place in this 2026 budget. Now, just about last year, the government imported 2,000 tractors into Nigeria to boost agriculture. A country that is not able to feed itself is a country that will not be able to trudge on. Now we have seen how even inflation is dropping. By November 2025, inflation was only 14.5%, which was, as of December 2023, about 28%. Give us some slack. Appreciate some little work that we have done. For anybody who knows the kind of leadership Bola Tinubu, practices, is a populist, a welfareist kind of leadership.
Is it
he cares about the people more than anything else.
Are you worried, Majoe, that some of the things that you're talking about, a lot of the populists and the people of Nigeria are very disconnected? They're very disenchanted about this government. And there are those who believe in the opposition that your government is becoming rather unpopular. How do you fix that gap? No matter the Turenchi in the local parlance that have been said, those who cannot feed know that they cannot feed. Those who don't have money in their pocket know that they don't have money in their pocket. Those who had some kind of money in the quantity they have it today, yesterday, and they're spending it today, and they know that what it fetched them the last time and what it could fetch them this time around is a huge departure from it. How do you explain the disconnect between the Nigerian people and what this government is doing? Do you think that this is going to hurt a possibility of the thinking of the Bola Tinubu returning?
Bola Tinubu returning is a concluded deal.
With your party?
It's a concluded deal.
No, with
if you look at, I'll tell you, if you look at the group that calls themselves ADC, give me one person that has the knowledge and ability and bravery of Bola Tinubu. If Bola Tinubu was a kind of person that is timid, he would not undertake most of the reforms he's undertaking in the name of coming back. But this is a patriot, a very strong patriot who believes that the health and life of Nigeria is far more important than him returning to power in 2027. So he's been truthful with Nigerian people. He's been honest with the Nigerian people. He's taking the bull by the horn. Now, tell me among the opposition, one person that you think has the kind of intellect, the kind of bravery, the kind of knowledge, and the kind of experience Bola Tinubu has. Which state of Nigeria can compare with Lagos as we speak? Name them one by one. Is it David Mark? Is it Atiku Abubakar? Is it Bolaji Abdullah himself? Is it Aregbesola? Is it the man from Port Harcourt? I always forget. Rotimi Amechi. Is it El Rufai? Tell me one person among all of Peter Obi. Don't even talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is just ranting all over Nigeria, telling people what they do not know. I don't have a house in Abuja. He's the owner of Next International. So these are untruthful leaders. They just pack themselves together in their anger and bitterness. Anybody, any group of people that come together because they are bitter, they cannot make a headway. They cannot provide for Nigeria what Nigeria needs. So pack them aside and let's face our problems headlong and find a way to resolve our problem as a people. Not people that are bitter, they've been beaten here and there, they now got themselves together under David Mark. David Mark cannot even manage a local government finance. I can tell you that for free. Who among them?
It was the Senate president.
What is Senate president? What is that? How is that? Somebody was arguing with me a few days ago on TV. Ladan Saliu said Bola Tinubu is a rookie. There's people like Atiku Abubakar, David Mark are experienced nationalists. I laughed. Let them tell me one state in Nigeria that any of them has managed that is better than Lagos State. Since 1999, Lagos State has been progressing. The budget of Lagos State is more than 19 states put together. And you are kidding with such a person that has that kind of intellect, foresight. You know, they are just, you see.
So, in your own explanation tonight, you are of the opinion that Bola Tinubu or nothing. Bola Tinubu is the only man that can fix Nigeria. That's what you're trying to establish tonight.
Not necessarily. He has got, see, I heard a parastatal under culture. What Bola Tinubu has done is to select a team of people who believe in his dream, who believe in his leadership, and who will be ready to go whole hog to ensure that Nigeria succeeds. As I speak to you, in the culture sector, we have sitting a $45 billion annual income revenue to Nigeria. Everybody that is on the team of Bola Tinubu is here to work. And the work is that Nigeria must succeed. Not the disgruntled people that put themselves together and call themselves new opposition.
But this the opposition, your party members are already jittering. They are running helter-skelter.
How do you determine that? Sheun sitting here, how do you determine they are running helter-skelter? Helter-skelter about what?
Even me looking at you, you feel very uncomfortable.
I am
You're agitated.
I know they can't get anywhere. I am agitated because of the lies and the miscommunication and the kind of disorientation they are trying to give the unsuspecting citizen of Nigeria. Like Bolaji Abdullah. I mean, how do you say that referendum conducted has failed, has shown that the government has failed? How? Where?
You need to be able to show your own statistics to otherwise. Just a moment, sir. You have said that a lot of the policies of this government will bring some hope by the end of the year.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
So by their own estimation, they are thinking that Nigerians are not feeling it. If Nigerians are not feeling it, that's failure. Because if you made a promise to a people, for example, let's take power, electricity, for example. He categorically, Bolaji Abdullah said on this program that the president by himself made the utterance. He said it, that if we fail to give you power, vote us out. But the question that Nigerians will be asking is that, do we have the power that's been promised, for example?
As the 4 years come and gone?
So we should wait until the end of 4 years.
Why don't you want to wait? Did he say if I spend 2 years and I don't give you power?
But you know, by the end of the 4 years, we would have finished the election.
I don't know.
So the Nigerian people who want to vote,
yes,
and who are now counting the promises of Bola Tinubu,
yes,
and the APC, will be
yes,
asking themselves,
yes,
because the election year is actually this year. Everything will be encapsulated. Everything, the laws are going to be reviewed. It's likely that we have elections and have enough time.
But the laws have not
just a moment, sir, that you have elections and review everything before the swearing in. That is the proposition. Yes. And if election holds February next year, substantively, you only have just about a few days in next year. So the question right here is that this is the year the Bola Tinubu team and the APC need to convince Nigerians that whatever they promise and whatever they are doing in office, the Nigerian people are well served adequately based on the promise they made.
Okay, let me quickly let you understand. What constitutes a pass mark is 50%. By the end of the year,
in your own books,
in anybody's books, the schools you went, when you have 50%, you have a C.
There's no
way. It's a universal standard. When you have 50%,
when I was growing up, if you have a C, in my father's book, is a failure.
Well, your father was not Nigeria. It was your father.
No, I'm saying so.
I'm saying, 50%
it might be. So in your own books, if you have a C, it's okay. Brings home C.
If you have C.
But don't you think that Nigerians deserve more than
that's
C?
That's not even the issue. The issue is we're not going to fail Nigerians. That's a fact. But I will tell you, and I'll continue to tell you.
You have failed already.
No, who said, the fellow that said we have failed already was not a success material when he was minister. He was removed. He was removed for certain reasons. He knows. Point any one of them that is a success in his field when they were in power. They were all a group of failures. Is it Rotimi Amechi? A man that has never used his brain to work before as a private person. He left university, he started to get into politics. From local government chairman to minister last 2 years. Is it, who among them? So what I'm saying is simple. What we are doing, the only thing we need to do is to educate Nigerians on the extent of rot that are taking place, which may not be, 2 years is not enough to really put those rots together. We know that. Okay, look at our last government, our last APC government. Look at the kind of mess Malami did in that government. How will that kind of government progress? It will retrogress naturally. I mean, worst of all, they found ammunition in his house. So
allegedly.
It has not. Allegedly. No, that's alleged. But we had it all over the place.
It's an allegation. Okay. It has to be proven. The man is highly innocent.
Exactly. Until he's proven guilty. Yeah. So no problem. But the issues of houses, 57 houses or more, caught in his book, is it alleged too?
It's an allegation.
Okay, fine.
They are still in the realm of allegation.
What I'm simply saying is that some Nigerians are actually the enemy of this country. Now, leadership, the kind of leadership Muhammadu Buhari provided was forthright, but the people that worked with him failed him. And that is the problem. It's a Nigerian problem. It's not a political party problem.
But it's a political party.
It's a Nigerian
All
problem.
these things that you're talking about is your political party.
No.
The same, just a moment, the same government that your party say is going to continue on their legacy. And you are saying that Nigerians should do what?
Every government,
forget them?
Every government has its own policy and focus. A Muhammadu Buhari's government had its own policies and focus. A Bola Tinubu government has its own policies and focus. And the circumstances of those two governments are not particularly the same. The kind of circumstance we have met here in 2023 is entirely a difficult situation that we are struggling very hard to ensure we tackle. And I have not seen any of those people who can do better. Are you kidding me? See, the state governments have been a lot richer by 300%. Local governments have been a lot richer. Now, the problems of the common man on the street should rightly be given to state governors and local government chairmen to employ to take care of the citizens of their locality. We cannot blame every failure on federal government, as it were. It's not just right. That is why the fact allocation for state government have tripled since the removal of oil subsidy. We should begin to ask the governors, what have you been able to do to help the citizens on the street in your states and in your local government?
Let me just for a moment. There are a few things that are troubling, though, that part of the conversation I had with Balaji Abdullahi, which you said you would like to respond to. And that is how the government of the day used the help of lobbyists when there was a diplomatic threat by the U.S. government. Let me remind you of what Balaji. A lot of our viewers maybe wouldn't catch that interview. Let me remind you and them of this, and I'd like to get your response. This was Balaji Abdullahi talking about the employment and engagement of lobbyists, the value of that to diplomatic engagement with the United States, and the cost of it also. Take a listen.
Some things have happened in recent time that is unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. This is the first time we hear that the National Assembly will pass a law, then some people in government will sit and forge it and actually try to pass it off as the duly approved law. This is the first time that we're hearing that a government of Nigeria will pay $9 million.
Is it 6 million or 9 million now?
It's 9 million. It was, I read the agreement, I saw the document. If you go to the FARA website, you see it there. $9 million. $9 million for lobbyists to make them look good before Donald Trump.
Is it a bad thing to lobby?
It's not a bad thing to lobby. But what they are doing, number one, I don't even want to go to the issue of all the processes. How did they award this contract? How was the money paid? Who paid this money? What budget line is it? How was the money transferred out of Nigeria? We are not even going into that. But when you are paying $9 million, if you invest $9 million on your internal security matters, you will see results. And you don't have to convince the president of another country that your country is safe. You are paying $9 million to a public relations group in the US, company in the US, to make you look good, to tell Americans and the American president that, as a matter of fact, what you think about us is not who we are. So, and that is all they care about. They don't care about whether Nigerians are still dying. They don't care about why people are still being killed. They just want to look good before Americans.
Mr. Ajibe, how do you react to the opposition?
I'm surprised that somebody like Bolaji Abdullahi, an a journalist, is a media person who speak like this. When Donald Trump woke up one morning and said there's Christian genocide in Nigeria, we all know there was no Christian genocide. Those people were killing everybody, Muslim, Christians, everybody. Some people had gone behind to impress on Donald Trump that it was a deliberate, act against Christians. That was not good enough. Now, the trajectory that man was going with, he would wake up one morning and started bombing and started destroying everything. What the government had done is the most intelligent thing I've seen in diplomatic circles. The government took it easy with him. We convinced him to the extent that they came to do an investigation, on the ground investigation by themselves. We sent our experts over there to convince them that there is nothing like, Christian genocide. What we are having in Nigeria is a general insurgency of some ISIS, ISWAP, and all of that. Okay. Is it wrong to employ the services of public relations experts? Is lobby a criminal act? In public relations, which I know very well, when a situation is getting tacky and the channel of conviction is a bit narrow and thorny, you need some experts to break the ice. So what has Nigerian government done wrong? You see, these people are very wicked, and Nigerians need to understand that coalition called APC is evil, and I'll tell you what I mean. See him talking about there's no food in Nigeria. Why spend $9 million to do PR? For God's sake, we saved Nigeria from some unjustifiable and hallucinating destruction that could happen from one man whose action cannot be determined the next minute. We have seen that man take a lot of actions that were not actually justified. And when he said further that Nigeria wanted to be nice before the Americans, what kind of statement is that? What kind of absolute illiteracy was that? Are we trying to be good before Americans, or we are trying to explain to people who do not have the right information about us that this is not right? What we are hearing is wrong, and we have succeeded.